Their weakest point would probably be Koreans can be quite shy when it comes to speaking English, so they feel intimidated and they might not want to speak up in classes or sort of put their hands up and volunteer to do things in front of classes. I think this is probably their weakest point. Apart from that, they're quite dedicated, they work well, they study well, and their English does improve very quickly. I think not just for Korean students, but for all students coming to learn English in general, try and learn the basics or a little bit of basics just so they have a foundation to start with. And then when they do come to Australia, the transition of moving here, it makes it a bit easier. Communicating, it makes it a bit easier. And as well, once they do start from there, their English will improve much quicker as well. So at Imagine, we do have a few different programs and clubs for the students to try and help them with life in Australia. Some of these are our job club program. So with that, students can go to the program for free and it helps them get ready for job interviews, and it helps them create their CV to give into different companies, which will help them get jobs a lot easier, as well as just the general English classes, improving their English as well, which in turn will help them get jobs within Australia. The pay would not necessarily be related to their level of English. However, if their level of English wasn't up to a decent standard, such as maybe intermediate level or upper intermediate level, then, as I said earlier, they would get the harder jobs where they're not really interacting with people and using their English much. It'd be more sort of cleaning jobs where they're just by themselves doing the cleaning without having to speak any English. So on the Gold Coast, I believe that Koreans do get jobs quite easily here. The reason for that is Korean students, as I said earlier, their English does develop quite quickly, so they are able to go and look for a job at different places. I also think that the Korean community here is quite strong, so there is a lot of Korean restaurants, a lot of sort of Korean shops, Korean supermarkets that will prefer to hire Korean students, and thus it makes it a bit easier for the Korean students to get a job compared to the other students. I hope so. Thank you very much for interviewing me.